About disclosure reports. Nakisa Lease Administration offers a wide variety of reports that are compliant with IAS 21 and ASC 830 that are used for currency translation. The reports offer specific quantitative node disclosure requirements such as the maturity analysis report, cash flow report, and asset roll forward, and others that are covered in the next slide. There are robust dynamic filtering capabilities, allowing users to generate reports for all Nakisa Lease Administration configured systems in order to generate consolidated view for the reports. The reports offer the ability to reconcile the amounts generated at a summary level to a contract-by-contract basis. A complete contract listing with the amounts in the contract currency along with the foreign exchange rates that are used are included in each report. The report may be generated in functional or local currency if a single company code is selected, or in presentation or group currency when more than one company code is selected. On the right-hand side, we're able to view that the disclosure reports are available by clicking on the main menu and selecting the Disclosure Report option. Available disclosure reports. In this slide, we talk about the list of disclosure reports that are available within Nakisa Lease Administration and their description. The first report on the list is a lease liability report. This presents the future finance charges split between short and long term, as well as the short and long-term principal liability balances at the reporting period. Next is the weighted average discount rate. This represents the weighted average discount rate for each lease based on the discount rate used to calculate the lease liability balance at the reporting date and the remaining lease payments. The weighted average discount rate under US GAAP is calculated separately for finance and operating leases. Next is the weighted average lease term. This represents the weighted average lease term based on the closing lease liability balances and the remaining lease terms. The weighted average lease term report under US GAAP is calculated separately for finance and operating leases. Next is the maturity analysis report. This represents the undiscounted remaining future lease payments on annual basis for 5 years and the total of the amount for the remaining years at the reporting period end. It includes a reconciliation of the undiscounted cash flows to the finance lease liability and operating lease liability. Next is the cash flow reports. There are 2 separate reports, one for ASC 842 and another one for IFRS 16. The cash flow report represents a summary of the impact of the cash flow statement during the reporting period. This includes the cash paid for amounts included in the measurement of the lease liabilities segregated between operating and financing cash flows. Next is the expense report. This is also broken down between ASC 842 and IFRS 16. And this represents a summary of the impact to the income statement during the reporting period. This includes interest expense, average lease expense, short-term lease expense, low-value asset, and variable lease expense for ASC 842. The last report is the asset roll forward report. And this represents a reconciliation of the right-of-use asset carrying balance at the reporting period end by external asset class. This includes a breakdown of the new right-of-use assets created during the reporting period between the present value of minimum lease payments, initial direct costs, prepaids, obligation to refurbish, and incentive amounts. Month-end type rates. Where required by accounting standard, the application uses the month-end exchange rate, daily rate, or monthly average rate to convert the currency amounts. Besides type 10, which is the local currency, and type 30, which is the presentation currency, it will be needed to manually add another FX rate for a month-end type, as you could see over here on the right-hand side of the screen. To support month-end exchange rates for the disclosure reports, the following changes should be made in Nakisa Lease Administration, Admin Console, or Manager page. The field month-end type rate has been added to the exchange rate type table in the master data configuration under System, Company, Accounting Setup, and Exchange Rate Type. And this is shown in the screenshot to the right-hand side of the screen, where we're able to view that there is a flag for the month-end rate type that is available. Month-end type rate continued. In this slide, we're able to view a screenshot of the configuration of the month-end rate type. From the admin console or the manager page, we're able to log in and choose master data config from the main menu. From here, we're able to select system config, system, cross company code configuration, and the exchange rate table is available. As soon as we click on it, we're able to filter based on the month-end rate type that we have chosen. In this case, it is X. As soon as we click on it, we're able to view all the rate types that belong to the month-end type rate. From here, we're able to view all the rate types that belong to type X, which is the month-end type rate. And from here, we're able to view the from and to exchange rates and currencies. Setting up a disclosure report. From this screenshot, we're able to view the filter criteria for the disclosure report. We're able to access disclosure reports by clicking on the main menu of Nakisa Lease Administration and selecting Disclosure Report option. Over here, we're able to view the list of filters that are available within the disclosure report page. The first thing that we have to choose is the appropriate disclosure report. The list of disclosure reports that were discussed in previous slides are available in this dropdown. Below that, we're able to choose our hierarchy, which includes our system, lease area, business unit, company code, lease department, and lease group. We could also select different cost objects that are available, which include profit center, business area, cost center, and additional details from here. From here, we also have the option to select activation group status, which allows us to generate the report for leases that are classified, not yet activated, activated leases, and closed leases. We could also select to filter based on asset class. We could select one, multiple, or all asset classes. We have to choose an accounting standard based on the configuration that has been set up per system. We also have to choose a currency. We typically could choose one or two currencies, either the local currency or the group currency. This will be discussed in the next slide. We also have the option to choose the from and to period. We could generate the report for 1 year at a time, and we're able to choose our from period and our to period. Once the filter criteria has been entered, we're able to click on Generate, which will actually trigger the creation of the report. In the section below, we're able to view the status of the report generation process, as well as the filters that were used for the report. Once the report is ready, we're able to download by using the green icon in order to generate the report in Excel. Working with foreign currency translation. From an accounting perspective, the contract currency needs to be first translated to the functional currency, which is the company code currency, and then to the presentation currency, which is the group currency. As shown in the slide over here, we're able to view the list of company codes that are available and the currency drop-down based on the selection of the company code. If one company code is selected, as an example over here, company code 1000, we're able to choose between the functional currency or the presentation currency. However, if all company codes were selected and each company code had a different functional currency, in that case, the only selection criteria for the currency dropdown would be the presentation currency. Setting up a disclosure report. Once reports are generated in Nakisa Lease Administration, we're able to view the aggregate overview by asset class, broken down by the summary details below. Over here, this is an example of the maturity analysis, where we're able to view the breakdown aggregated by asset class that is available on the left-hand side. Below that, we're able to view the breakdown by contract level. Next to it, we're able to view the total, which is available by the currency selected that is shown in the previous slide, and it's broken down by the undiscounted cash flows for the first 5 years and thereafter. And next, we're able to view the total of the undiscounted cash flows, and then we're able to view the finance charges, which is simply the interest charges. This will reconcile with the total lease liability. The information on top is aggregated by asset class, and it is also shown in the target currency, whereas the information below is available at the lease contract level, and it is available in contract currency. We're able to view the exchange rate details from the information below in order to get to the summary level up top. This format is applicable to all disclosure reports that are available within Nakisa Lease Administration.